Good day, Sir Ponce. My name is Charmaine L. Formanes, and I'll be presenting our research paper on behalf of our group members, Ms. Jaira M. Hulok and Mr. Leomar P. Roda. Our research is entitled Efficacy of Educational Supervisory Practices of Selected School Heads in Donsol West 2 District. To begin with, first, let me tackle the introduction with the background of the study. So it has been recognized that the school heads are one of the keys to an effective school. A great deal of research shows that the unique position school heads hold. As the one person in school who is responsible and empowered to oversee the entire school, places them in a powerful position to coordinate the entire school operation and move it forward. The Republic Act No. 1955, or otherwise known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, consistent with the national educational policies, plans, and standards, clearly states that the school heads shall have the authority, responsibility, and accountability in managing all affairs of the school. This study aimed to determine the efficacy of educational supervisory practices of selected school heads in Donsol West 2 District. Specifically, this study seeks answer to those following questions. Number 1, what are the educational supervisory practices being employed by the school heads in the selected elementary school of Donsol West 2 District in terms of letter A, curriculum instruction, letter B, organization and personnel management, letter C, planning, assessing, and reporting of teaching learning outcomes. Number 2, what is the level of the efficacy of selected school heads in employing these practices in school? Number 3, what are the challenges being encountered by the school heads in implementing the practices? And last, what can be proposed based on the findings of the study to address the challenges? Thus, we researchers believe that this study on the efficacy of educational supervisory practices of selected school heads is best suited to the present conditions and needs of principals, head teachers, and teachers who are considered the key participants of this study. This research also highlighted the educational supervisory practices employed by the selected school heads in Donsol West 2 District, analyzed the extent to which school heads effectively implement these practices in school, and determine their level of efficacy by evaluating them by their teachers and employing these practices are the significant factors in considering this study. Next is methodologies. As a result of understanding the aims and objectives of this study, we use a mixed method design for the data collection. Mixed method research combines quantitative and qualitative approaches by including both quantitative and qualitative data in a single research study. Our respondents or participants, we have 5 selected full-fledged school heads, 2 principals and 3 head teachers, 48 teachers of selected 5 elementary schools, where the 5 selected school heads were assigned, and the public school district supervisor of Donsol West 2 District. For sampling procedures or research instruments, we gather data through a survey questionnaires in determining the level of efficacy of selected schools in employing the practices. A structured and unstructured interview was also utilized. Data analysis tools and procedures. The 5-point Likert scale was used to interpret the items in the questionnaires. Results and discussion. Based on the data collected, the following are the findings of the study. For educational supervisory practices employed by the school heads in Donsol West 2 District, in terms of curriculum and instructional supervision, it includes the checking of teachers' lesson notes, or the DLL or the daily lesson plan, the scheme of work or class program, the moderation of examination questions and marking and grading schemes. For organization and personnel management, it includes checking of teachers' punctuality in school, monitoring of teachers' regularity and attendance and the like. For planning, assessing, and reporting of teaching learning outcomes, school heads employed the checking of teachers' plan or AWA, assessing the learning outcomes. through the submission of monthly accomplishment report per quarter, conduct of classroom observation, demonstration, or micro-teaching, pre- and post-conference during the conduct of classroom observation. Number 2, efficacy level of educational supervisory practices of school heads. Based on our findings, it implied that the school head's efficacy level of educational supervisory practices in Donsol West 2 District was highly proficient with an overall weighted mean of 4.57. In general, the school head's efficacy level of educational supervisory practices, as perceived by the teachers and the public school district supervisor, was highly proficient. In addition, these school heads were able to meet the standards set by the top management and were able to do their job excellently in the field, be it on supervision and or administration. Number 3, the challenges being encountered are the lack of support from the parents, community participation, the poor academic performance of pupils, lack of parents' concern to the need of pupils, attitudes of teachers, overlapping of activities, lack of funds, and professional growth. In addressing the challenges faced and experienced by the school heads together with their teachers and stakeholders, be it internal or external, should coordinate and work hand in hand to oversee the totality of the performance of the school. A systematic and strategic plan can also be used in the implementation of all these practices in school to have better results in making. Therefore, we conclude all of the mentioned educational supervisory practices, as stated by the selected school heads, are the essentials in attaining the primary aim of the school, which is to offer quality teaching and learning process. Second is the study indicated that the school heads perform their educational supervisory practices very well in their respective school, as viewed by their teachers and by the public school district supervisor. Third, in doing such practices in school, school heads still experience challenges that affect their performance and implementations of the practices in their respective schools. Fourth, an enhanced supervisory plans may be proposed to address the challenges encountered by the school heads in their school. Based on our study, we derive these recommendations. The first one is the school head must work well with their educational supervisory practices employed in school to promote a sense of self-efficacy. Number 2, school heads may improve their performance continuously and sustain their efficiency in employing the educational supervisory practices through capacity building to intensify their supervisory rules and practices. Number 3, constant and continued monitoring and evaluation of the school needs and problems should be give equal impetus to address the challenges that arise in the implementation of these practices. Number 4, the enhanced supervisory plan may be crafted by the school heads together with their district supervisor and submitted to the division office for possible implementation, and if found feasible, may be adopted by the other school. That would be all. Thank you.